koa.
A 5-minute call on behalf of the Maori Party, Marama Fox.
Tēnā koe te mana whakawa.
Tēnā koe.
I was watching from the comfort of my spacious office, which I'm happy for anybody to OIA and come and have a look at, when the lovely young Mr. Seymour stood to give and deliver his speech. And I thought, this is great. What frivolity and jest is going on here in the House tonight? I must come down and take part in this. I was tempted, of course, to join in the David Seymour roast and throw out a number of instances of why we wouldn't want to OIA the inner thinking of what is the ACT Party. I was tempted, of course, to jump on the bandwagon of the mock David Seymour competition that seems to be going on in the House, until I sat and listened to that. I thought, well, hold on now. I'm almost tempted to back the young man up. Let's have a look. Why would we support this legislation? Well, along with all other pieces of legislation, we put it against the values of the party. Number one, manaakitanga, the act of upholding someone's mana. So why would we want to see what an Under-Secretary is doing? Well, to ensure that the people he represents in the carrying out of his duties, that he is continuing to uphold the mana of not just himself, the party and Parliament, but the people that he represents. Number two, kaitiakitanga, the caring for. He is responsible for caring for the education of the students in charter schools, something that we have supported, because actually, when you look around the education system, though it is on the improve, a number of Māori and Pacifica students have not been well cared for in our education system. So again, I would like to see what's going on in our charter schools to ensure that we could make sure those students were being cared for. And number three, rangatiratanga. Rangatiratanga, self-determination, the right for Māori, non-Māori and anyone else on the whenua to assert their own pathways to success. Here is a model of education that many Māori organisations, iwi's trust across the country, have decided is the option for them in their schooling choices, to asserting their rangatiratanga. And again, I think, okay, we can support this piece of legislation to ensure that we can see and understand that those values are being upheld. And then I think back to the lovely Mr. Seymour's speech. I think he's been OIA'd already. He doesn't have to respond, but he has, out of the goodness of his own heart, Mr. Speaker. He has provided the information requested for already, despite this legislation having not gone through. And then the lovely Mr. Seymour has decided, again in the goodness, yes, he's lovely sometimes, in the goodness of his heart, to proactively provide the information to the House and to the public for the public good, so that people do know what's going on. So I ask myself, is the legislation actually needed? If I think about the proactive examples that the lovely Mr. Seymour has provided to us tonight, I would think, no, actually we don't need it. But that means that any Under-Secretary now and into the future is going to be as lovely as the young Mr. Seymour. And I only need to look around the House at all the people who wanted to take a swipe at him and think, oh, I'm not sure that that is the case of all of us here, though we would like it to be. And I cannot be sure that into our future that would be the case. And in fact, for Māori, we would like to see these things written into legislation, because sometimes the minister's great, and in their goodwill and good faith, they'll work proactively with Māori for treaty settlements and the such, and other times it just depends on how they feel on the day. So I'm going to go with legislation over good luck and ad hoc, and we're happy to support this legislation. Kia ora.
Mr. Speaker.